Good morning, everyone. Still journaling my trade from yesterday. Okay, let's go to the chart. Let's see what we have. Remove everything. Go to daily. Let's take a look where we're at. A bit of luck, somebody took a trade yesterday afterwards. This was a very clean move to the upside. So we got a few red folders today at 11 and at 2:30. So we probably have a bit of a sideways movement until then. Let's see what happens. We have FOMC today, so that's definitely possible that we have a move at then morning Velen. I'll go over the trade from yesterday. So we had a break of structure here to the downside, and we slowly moved back up. It took a while before we were here. Once I got that entry, this was actually on this wick that we got that entry. I immediately put my stop back to break even, and then we got stopped at break even. But if you continued following and you saw that actually here we made a change in character to the upside back. That would have been a great entry. If somebody took that, congratulations. We had a beautiful move up. We came into a retest of this last move, and then we actually had a 200-point move up straight to that opening. Was expected. I said in the beginning, if my trade wasn't correctly, that we would go up straight to those highs. But it's also always one or the other. Now for today, we've been going sideways for a few hours, for a half hour, 1, 2, 3 hour, 3 times 50. That's an hour and a half. We're now in open, so let's see what happens in open. So we're actually inside two major liquidity pools. We got Asia high just above us, and we got Asia low just below us. So that's the same distance almost. Here. That's 51 points to the upside, and it's 57 to the downside. So it's actually straight in the middle we are right now. So let's be patient until we see what Agano wants to do. The movement was down after a sweep. Buy side liquidity of two highs actually. We swept it, and then we came back. So I want to see what happens right now. I'm not in any trades, guys. So anybody that just joined, it's on the screen. I'm not in anything. I'm watching what the market is doing right now. gonna be a patient game, guys. So take your time. Meantime, I'm reading something else. So we had a bit of a choppy market right here. I want to see what the market wants to do right now. I'm not going to jump into anything because we had buy side liquidity and sell side liquidity on both sides. We got major news at 11 and at 2:30. So I'm going to be patient. I want to see a sweep or either a continuation movement or a lower part movement. So what did I see right now? We swept liquidity. We came in a void. The market pushes back up. We could go all the way to Asia high or even higher. Still enough time to jump into anything. But for now, it looks like we actually came back and we are now moving up higher. We came to the 50 level, so I want to see a clear continuation right now before doing anything. So anybody that took that trade yesterday, I mentioned that I put my stop. I break even immediately when we jumped in, and I also said if we get stopped at that high, I got stopped at break even actually. I took one contract off. I shared it in Discord before I did anything, and you have plenty of time to do it because this was like I got tapped here, and we got back in profit still on this level. So you had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 candles to do anything. I took one contract off to actually pay the fees, and then I let the market do its thing. I didn't come back online, but this was a clean entry too that you could have taken right here. We had changing character to the upside, so any retracements back lower should mean that you could take an entry, and we actually had a 30-minute value gap right here that got tapped. Very clean entry that you could have taken. Didn't come back to that 50 level, so that would have been outside the rules, but still, I would have dared to take this, especially because we had like a 200 move to the upside straight after it. I was expecting it to come back to the opening price, but until that happens, It was or downside immediately from here because this was a break of structure to downsides, and this was a change in character back to the upside. So both of them were very profitable trades. And if you even missed, so once we swept this high, you could have took it a 5 minute also. Any entry would have been great. Even if you only entered on these levels right here, you could have still perfectly done it. So you wait for this move to come up. You had a new break. You had a new 5 minutes. Enter it. Put your stop at our low and continue. But for now, we're still in that choppiness, so I'm not touching this. Until we are out of this movement, we need to be very patient. You don't want to be jumping into anything like this. Even though the market showed strength and still showing movement to the upside, I want to be patient until we leave this choppy market. So until we see some movements, come do some homework for myself. In the meantime, if you have any questions, just ask. I'll take a look if I can respond to them. But for now, there's not much to do. You can see the market itself. This is just, there are not even fair value gaps inside these candles. So please do not touch anything like this. It's not smart. It would just give something to the market. It will show its hand afterwards, same like here. This took a while before anything moved out of this area. So just let the market do its thing right now because it's CPI today. So we have a 230 CPI, so that will definitely give a huge movement up or down. Or probably will be up. Maybe a swing down to take some liquidity, but the market definitely has strength in it at this point. We touched all-time high on ES already. We didn't touch all-time high yet on Nasdaq, but we probably get very close to it in the week coming. You can even see those 15 minutes just line up on each other. You don't want to be touching anything of this right now. By the way, we are in between two highs, so we have liquidity just below us, and we have a liquidity pool just above us, and they're the same distance. They're about 50 points each, so it's not the best position right now to be in to take any trades off. I want to see a clear movement up or down before we do anything, and we will have a candle that will show us that direction. Will take some time, but just be patient. Trading is not about doing a lot; it's just about seeing that opportunity that shows you a plan to follow it and then continue with it. If you're lucky, we get a trade today. We will see how much that I can do right here. Hope that everybody sees that this is not a market that you want to be trading right now. We had small 15 minutes right here, and now we're just having the same movement over and over again, but a little bit bigger. So don't try to trade this until the market gives you a nice clean candle in direction, until we sweep something of liquidity and we see a form go up or down, doesn't matter, but we need to follow movement, of course. This could take a while, so take a break, take your time, guys. We did came into 1 hour, but still, we are still moving this movement. So I want to be sure that before we take anything, that is clear the direction where we want to go to. We did that before hour right here. But for me, this is just the same. This is was sideways movement. So we are actually on a higher time frame. We're actually ranging at this point. We did take out the liquidity right here, but we didn't move up that strong like I expected it to move. Today we have so before you can actually see that we have a ranging movement, we need like 2 or 3 clear touches on both sides. So we have now 1, 2, 1, 2, almost 3. So we're definitely ranging. We're not expanding. Not like yes, yes, it's expanding. But this is expansion. It went up constantly a bit, and didn't get back to those lows either. But NQ just you can see the difference. So make sure that you notice always the higher time frame what it's doing. If you are not yet exposed to cryptocurrencies, I would recommend definitely holding at least zero point 0.1 Bitcoin, guys. If you can manage to buy that, you'll be set for life. Actually, 2.8. If you have 0.28 Bitcoin, you'll be actually one of the richest people in the world in the next 30 years, 20 years. Just by doing the natural mathematics. Yeah, I started trading because of cryptocurrency, so definitely I want you'll be exposed at least of buying a little bit of it. Doesn't need to be much, just like every month. Buy a little bit, you'll be happy. You'll be very happy. If Bitcoin ever gets to the amount that gold, let me take a look how much it is. You can see the movement, guys. Don't touch it. Let this market do its thing. This is not worth your money. This market will show its hands sooner or later, and then we will have a very clean entry, and then we will take it. Until it does this, just stay off of it. It's no need to put anything on the line right here. So can you imagine? And gold is now about 29 billion in total inside. And I believe Bitcoin is about 3 billion right now. 3.2. And we will surpass gold definitely with the amount into it. So if you have 2.2. That's a 9x immediately from the price where it's now. If we get to the amount of, so that would be great. 90,000. Well, this will be a very good patient game. I hope everybody has the time and also the patience to not trade when it's looking like this. If you do not have the patience and you want to be a trader for full time, you do will have to learn that skill. It's very important that you actually do. It will save you a lot of money by just being patient. I can sit here till 11 and not even have a trade. I'll be fine with it too. We probably are waiting even for 11. If you go to Forest Factory, you can see there is at 11. We got some red folder. Bailey is speaking. I have no idea who that is even is, but it was a red folder. Especially because we got CPI in the afternoon. That will definitely give the market a nice push up or down. But until then, just be patient. Let this market do its thing. In your firms, if I went online at 7, normally I come online at 8. Look, we wouldn't have even had a trade. It would just be the same movement. So happy we took an hour later today. That saved us an hour of screen time, seeing nothing. And if you are a good trader, just be okay with it. If it's not a trading day, it's okay. Like I'm up zero, I'm minus 0.2 on the months. I didn't take a lot of trades, only 4, I believe, and I'm down 0.2. It's actually the first month that I'm not up, but we still got like 17 days, so plenty of time. We only need like 2 or 3 good trades in a month, and we get back everything that we ever gave to the market. Like yesterday was a great day that you could have taken a huge trade. After that sweep, we saw a break of structure, so I wanted to short again. I got stopped at break even here, and I said that it was a huge possibility if we take out our high where the stop was, then we will go all the way back here to opening, because this candle moved up and it needs to take out that wick then. This is actually exactly what happened. That was a 200-point move, so you could just enter the, even with a 1 contract would be enough to make back everything already. So always be okay with anything of outcome. As long as you can follow the process long enough, you'll be okay with it. Been here long enough, seen it, and believe me, not everybody can trade. People believe they all can trade, but if that was true, a lot more people would make money with it. It's more something psychology. Perfect. See, you don't need the biggest move. Now, if you went up a high part, that would also be great. So we had a small break right here. If you just entered here and took that small move up, that would have been great enough. Even if you only took it to here, that's still definitely like a 3 hour. I know you trade less. I'll take a look in a second. That's a 1.5, 1.9, so definitely still a decent trade. This would not be easy to hold all the way up to here because you have no idea how high this can go. Only if it has like a round number, yeah, that would be 26,000 for me. This would have been the end. A little bit lower, 25 or 98. I never go above. That's 26,000. Yeah, if you missed this move, Emily, Veerle, yeah, you definitely had a huge opportunity still. This was still just to that high. If you had this as an entry or even went into this level, that's still a 2 or 3 hour. Depends on where you put your stop, but still. How do we do 2.5? Clean entry. Oh. Yes, definitely here too. We had a break, came back, we had a break, it came back, we had a break, it came back. So any of these entries was good. That would have been TP. Yes was again way cleaner, so we didn't have like a huge spike taking out everything of that structure. But this is not the market I want to be trading right now. It's not actually much shape or movement. It's just sitting here. Nice one. Yeah, if you aren't sure that the market still continues to the upside, you can just let that last contract be at your break even and let that contract ride up. If you say, if you're like yesterday, that would have been a great movement if you said, okay, we go to that 7-8 level and I take profit, take most of it off, and put that last contract maybe on break even, and then if you have these kind of movements, you'd be very happy for the last contract. If it comes back, you still be happy. This would be if that was a 200 point on S, if that was a 7-8 level. That was a 55-point move. That's definitely huge. It did take another 7 hours. Yeah, that was the point here. There were two major movements right here. Or you had stop at the highs and it came back down at the 7-8 level, or we just broke through it, and then that meant that the market actually wanted to do something different. We just followed structure, so we came up and it moved slowly back up to here, and then I entered my trade. I put my stop and break even very fast, like I said I would, and the market actually tapped me out. I didn't watch the screen anymore then. I had too much other stuff going on. But for now, look, it's still the same movement. Nothing happened. So we're about an hour in stream right now, and we have an hour of sideways movements. So please do not, just listen, guys. Do not touch the market while it's doing this. This is a very, very choppy market. We have a lot cleaner structure normally. Okay, this is a little bit more movement on mass than on Nasdaq, but Nasdaq is very much not touchable. You're doing great, Philip. Just keep doing what you're doing. Keep having that confidence. You'll make it in this business. So for anybody new to trading, the reason why this is a choppy market is because there are no fair value gaps in between. So we don't have anything to reference points to trade off. That's why it's called a choppy market. Yeah, maybe on a minute you can trade this, but I don't trade the minutes. That's the spirit. That's the best thing you can do. Steady and slowly is actually more profitable than wanting to be fast. Because if you take a compounded effect over a long period of time, that's actually that's way better than actually wanting to have immediately everything. So your starting capital, if you are trading a prop firm, say, and you have a starting capital of about 2K, like everybody has, and you can increase that by about around 5% weekly, what's pretty much doable. That's only like one trade, a good trade. If you do this weekly for the next, say, 5 years, you would make 57 million, almost 58 million. But the first months, they go very slow. Like on months, you start with 2K, and the first month you make 2,400. So that's only like $400 that you make a month if you only take like 500%, increase. But if you compound it and you use your R like you use your MML, by the end of the first year you make 21K, and by the end of the second year you made 200,000. And the third year you made 2 million and a bit more than that. So you don't need to go fast. And like 5% is really nothing, and you know that. Here we start moving. Now we're taking out the buy side liquidity. We took already the sell side. Now we're taking the buy side. Let's see what the market does right here. If you never have calculated this as a trader, you should actually do this. To just show your brain, you don't need a lot. Because most people actually use 10% of their per trade. So say that you make 10% a week. I cannot even read this. That's more than my brain can actually speak out. I'll just take a print screen of this. This is if you make it. I cannot even read this. Can anybody read it for me? This is 5. This is 10% weekly. Just that's like one trade people take on a profit. I cannot read this number. This is what you could make if you just use your MML and every time use 5%, 10% of it. If you make 5, you, like I said, you make 250 million. That's still hugely. So this is only 10%. That means if you took one profitable trade with one R as 10% rating, that you're done for the whole week. Go back next week and make it again. If you do this for the first 365 days, let me see if I can see this in months. Yeah, so the first month, by month 8, yeah, actually by month 9, you should not be, I believe month 8, you'll be done working. You get 60,000 or something on your balance sheet. That's just one profitable trade a week, that's it. So we swept the liquidity, and now I want to see what happens because we're still chopping. We took the upper part of our liquidity. Yeah, top step base. He will put you on a live account, then you will not. You will get paid that much. They use you. They probably ban you after you took out like 2 million or something. They will just pay you out and say you're not longer welcome. But you will not need top step anymore once you get a payment like that. You just trade. You just go trade on your own then with your normal account. And you probably won't use 10% too. You will probably only lose like 1% of it per trade, max 2. It's a different story, and if you actually trade on I can share you. This is actually, so this is 5%. If you actually use it, this is 5% weekly. So for the next 5 years. So if you count on monthly, by the first month you make this amount. By the first year, second year you make 300,000. So in the second year, you should actually be financially free. This amount TopStep pays out. I know this. I've seen TopStep pay out over $1 million to people, so they pay it out. They make like this weekly or monthly 17 million or something like that. TopStep actually makes a lot of money. It's because people don't have enough capacity to actually to maintain a good mindset. So if everybody would have been a great trader, my first lesson that I gave to everybody was mindset. And I'm sure the first time you heard it, Vele, yeah, I have another platform you can use. It depends on what you want to do. If you want to trade with your own brokers, we have a very good one. You can use this interactive brokers. But I would recommend, because you're Belgium, that you would actually use the Belgian version than this one. So this is the EU version, and the problem with the EU version is that the response rate is way lower than actually the Belgian version. It's the same platform, so they're just like a side company. Yeah, yeah. Interactive traders is so I shared it in chat. That's one that you can use. I'll go take a look if I can find the Belgian version. I believe there are here links. It is. This is the Belgian version. They are located in Ghent. You can actually call them. Yeah, I know MetaTrader too. This is a Belgian broker version. Very so they put LBKR beside it because they actually trade on the same platform. The only thing is, this is Flemish, so it's in our language. We can easily use it, and they have very good response rate. So telephonies help you can actually have. So that's you can have in IBKR, you cannot. So I actually didn't know this yet when I started. So I put an account on IBKR, and actually I cannot switch it back to links. So once you open it on links, it's a bit easier. They get paid by fees anyway, so but they're actually trading on the same platform. That's one that you can use if you want to. Yeah, it can be trading futures. Just say that you have been doing this for more than 5 years. It's a tip that I give. Otherwise, they're not gonna let you. It's for it's just to protect yourself. They don't want anybody trading that doesn't have the skill. But if you can prove on a record that you recorded from yourself that you have the capacity to trade and that you can do it over and over again, and you can show that skill to them, you probably instantly get access to it too. Because I didn't fill that in the correctly way the first time. I was only trading Nasdaq for like a year and a half, and I filled that in, and I was unable to trade. And I called shit, and now, so I had to look this up. No, it's not a test actually. It's actually just they asked you at the beginning how many years you were trading, and then what kind of and what you were trading. And if you ever have a quest and don't understand the questions, just copy screen them and send them to ChatGPT. They will fill it in for you. You don't need to know every detail about it. You got plenty of time to fill in these questions. It's not like with a timer or anything, so just do it easy. So we are an hour and 15 minutes in street, and we didn't even move 10 points. We're still at the same level. So even though that hourly now shows strength, we came into it, but I would not have traded because of this choppy market, guys. Going sideways for plenty of hours. If we now would get something like a 15-minute right here, that would be good to see. That we can jump into it. But the one is 15 minutes, so that takes another 14 minutes before we find anything. So we have plenty of time. Yeah, you can trade anything there. The only thing is you will have to pay spread too. So make sure that you understand spread. If you don't, give me a chat. I'll explain it. Because where your stops are now, and let's say we're going to give an example. So say that we came into this kind of movement and you put your stop right here. Make sure that you know how much spread they use, because there is a possibility if you put your stop right here, if they don't have enough volume, that this from this little wick gets triggered. You don't have that on top step because it's not booked. So that means that you're actually trading on paper, no matter what. If you are trading on links or any other broker, they use spread, and spread means that between those levels that you could get wicked out without even knowing. So that could be a difference once you're trading live accounts, that you probably move your stop instead of here, maybe put it like 5 points lower to be sure that you don't get spread out. You just have to ask how much spread there is on those kind of options that you trade. It is needed, especially if they are very close. I say something like this, and you put your stop here, you probably get spread it out just because of this small move. I've seen accounts that actually have spread for 5 points. So I even seen that give 10 points. So that means 10 points spread. That means actually if they move the market here, that you could get stopped from here if you have 10 spreads. So just make sure that you know how much before you ever do it. Normally, the broker has almost the same numbers always. Yeah. So if you keep trading mass, it will be the same amount always. They have strict rules to them, and they have to share them. So they cannot do it without explaining it before. So you have to know exactly how much that spread is. So if you keep trading mass, you will actually have a clear indication how many points or how many moves up it takes, and it will always be the same. They cannot change it intercourse, because if they do that, they actually yeah, will lose a lot of traders. But if you have a trade, the first time I would just enter with one contract and also make sure that what they say is correctly. That's all. Yeah, it's the same way. You just call it a margin. It looks the same. Yeah, that's why TopStep actually made those products. So if you trade futures, that just looks almost the same. You have your own platform then. You can actually have go to links, and you can actually I believe trades without putting money in, educational purposes. So with fake money, like you're trading on TopStep, so that you can actually get used to the platform. So then you can actually test it without having to put money on the table, like paper money. So that you get used to the platform. Try that a few times out so that you actually see how much, where you should trade. And take the same trades you should take on TopStep, and take a look where you get moved out or get stopped out. Yeah, that's always good to start with. That's the same what I said to everybody who had started trading with me. To take a TopStep account and use that account as practice money. Yeah, it's not nice that you have to pay every month and over again. That is what it is. But once now you're funded, you pay the monthly fee anymore, so that's done. But that's the cheapest way actually to learn trading, because you don't have to spend your own big monies into it. You have like a 2,000 account, and you can just start trading. If you would have spent 2K for the learning process that you have done now, that would have been a different experience. Now you only gave like what was $100 or something like that in the last 3 months that you actually had the learning curve, and now you fund it so you can actually increase the amount slowly by step. But make sure that you get the first few payouts and use that money as that payouts. Use that money to start trading with your own money. But I would recommend to stay as long as you can on a prop firm, because you can scale it up a lot faster. I'll also explain why. So now you have one account. In TopStep, you can have to 5 accounts measured on each other. So those 5 accounts cost you what? Say $150 each. So that's, let me take my calculator out. So that's 150 x 5. That's about $750 that this costs you. So if you take a first payout, say that your first payout is around $1,500. That means that everything's paid for this out of your first payout. So once you have that first payout, you can actually get your second account on top of that for free because you got your payout. And you can do this every time you got a payout, you increase an account. You got a second payout, you increase an account. But the first time you get a $1,500 payout, but the second account, you actually couple them together. So that means that your first and your second account are trading the same movements. So the second account then gets another 1,500 payout. So you have a second payout. That means that you actually already made 3,000 that time. If you have a third account, then afterwards log onto it. Do not, I recommend, please do not go up immediately to like 5 accounts. Do never do this. It's not good for the brain. So the next time you'll know that you have a third account. So if you have a third payout, that means that you make 3, that means 4.5. If you have 5 accounts, I have to take my calculator, 1,500, 5 accounts. So that means it makes 7,500. After that fifth payout, top step will move the first account. You will have to blow your first account then. Keep the rest open, the other 4, and make sure before you take a fifth payout out of your first account that you give them away. It depends. If the account does above $50,000 in revenue onto it, okay, then you can keep it, but just don't trade it anymore. Because once you take 5 payouts out of one account, they put you to live. And live means that you can only have trade one account anymore. So then they calculate the amount that is on all the accounts, and they give you immediately that amount to trade with on a live account. But this is the way that you can scale up actually very fast with a prop firm. But we have a lot of prop firms. You have like Apex then that you can trade with. You can have up to 20 accounts on Apex. Top Step has like 5. Billnox has also 5. And these accounts, you can all link them together. So if you have like 30 accounts linked together and you have a 1,500 payout, only like a $1,500 payout, and you have like 30x time, that's 45,000 that you make. You can scale this up a lot faster with a lot less money than you ever would do in a normal account. Yes, I paid 3 months. Yes, I'll do it now. Every time you start not funded, yeah, every time you start again, indeed with a not funded account, and then you go over to it. That's before taxes, yes. In Belgium, it's you work still. That's 25 to 27% that you pay off of that immediately. If you don't have a job, that's 45% in Belgium. If you do have a job, I believe it's below 30. Yeah, so it should be below 30%. And if you have somebody done lost it, or I'll speak it like that. I don't know how you speak it in English. So if you have like a child or a husband that goes under you, because you have the only one that's working, you get a deduction also. Because if you're the only working person in the family, and you have like a husband and a kid going under you, you only pay like 12% anymore. No, you don't. And that's the funny thing. Uh, People think you need to be self-employed in Belgium before you get a reduction and certain stuff, and that's actually not true. That's what the normal people actually learn. Getting getting the right info at the right time is actually very important. But once you do this stuff and you start trading live with your own accounts, look me up, Veerle. I'll show you the way. I'll make sure that you can do it way cheaper than that, and will probably not be through Belgium. You have countries where you actually can pay zero taxes to. So, and for that kind of money, yeah, that's actually what you then do. It looks like that for the Belgian state, but that's actually not fully true. I did not say this live. I really have to delete this because it would not be good if somebody saw this. Yeah, luckily you're the only one here right now, so I can tell this, but I should actually delete this video today for this live. No, you can actually go to another, also to another corporation, to another statement, and it's way cheaper. We got countries where you actually, yeah, you can actually go to a country where you actually pay zero taxes. And keep in mind, say it like this. So keep in mind like this. I'm still not sure that we're gonna go up right here. We're still in this choppiness. We just tapped that 15 minutes. I'm not taking this. We're just still chopping. So I'll explain. We will probably have to wait until 11 anyways. So say that you earn 45,000 a month. And if you pay in Belgium, just taxes, that's around 30%. So that's 45,000 minus 30%. That's around an average of $13,500 that you pay in taxes. If you take that amount and you can rent an apartment in a country where you pay zero taxes, the only thing that you have to do is quote unquote live there or have a registration. And you can use that money instead of paying it for taxes, and you can actually have a cheaper apartment than 13K a month. That's not like a small apartment. So if you have cheaper apartment than $13,500 a month, that means actually that you made all the rest profit. And this is an actually blueprint that people use. So that would reduce, say that your apartment cost you 2,000, make it 3K a month. That's not going to be a cheap one, but that's the normal prices there. So that means that you actually saved another $10,500 on taxes every month. You can use a lot of expenses then. But if you have a 20K payout, it's going to your bank account, so people notice. You have to use, first of all, TopStep sends it to your account, but you can also use it. Let's take a look where it is. I believe it's Wire. No, it's not. It's. Give me a second. So first of all, we use Wise. It's not we use Wise. It's not registered in Belgium. So believe me, America does not share info from themselves to other persons. Second of all, you can have like 10 until 10, the first $10,000 that you make passively. It's not tax needed to register it, so you don't need to register it. It's tax reduction. So in Belgium, you can. A lot of people don't even know this, but you can actually earn 10K a month, 10K a year per person for free in Belgium. This is actually, I believe it's 9,800 and a bit, but around 10K a month, 10K a year, you can actually earn for free. And you can have even register it, and you will not have to pay taxes onto it. That's actually legal. Some other ways to do this too. So once you get to that amount, send me a notice. I'll show you the way how to go to it. You don't send it to your normal bank account. But once you actually get to a normal, say you have a broker like Links and you work with a broker, the good thing about that is that you actually never have to take it out of the broker's account. You just buy stocks, and if you need money, keep those stocks. Don't sell it. Lend it to the banks and let them lend you money. Lending money is free. It's not taxed. I'm going to give an example. Say that you have right now 1 Bitcoin. Believe me, they'll accept it. So go to the bank and ask, hello, for 50,000. You'll get it. You pay. You can even do this in Belgium. They don't want the money that they get. Okay, they need to lend it out. Otherwise, they're sitting on cash. And you can ask to lend it on 1%. So you reduced from 30%. You went all the way to 1%. And you don't even have to, and you didn't even lose your money. You still have it. So if you don't pay off the amount to the bank, you just keep your Bitcoin, or you keep the part of the Bitcoin that you actually have. It's like the same that you could put a house into a mortgage, that you can actually take another loan out of it. That's the same you can do with assets. If you have gold enough and you can share it with the banks, you can get a loan off of it, and you don't have to sell your gold. It goes up in value over time, and you still have your gold because it's still yours. You didn't even have to sell it. Then you can lend on the back. Of course, if you have money for free, you can have a very cheap lending platform. People always believe that they have to buy stuff with their own money. Do you know that all the money goes to the banks? So what do you think that they do with 10 million? We are probably already with 11 million in Belgium. So say that we are with 10 million people in Belgium. I'm just going to give a small example. If that's only 1 million, yeah, 10x. Say that we have 5 million people working. Make it easy. We have like 5 million people working from Belgium, so that's half is children, half is working. Say they have an average of $3,000 as income. That's 5 million x 3,000. That's about 15. That's a big number. to tip that down. So that's 15. And how many zeros that was? 3, 6, 9. Just go. So that amount they got every month into their bank accounts. Do you expect them to keep it there? This would cost them money to keep it there. So they need to lend this money back out because otherwise it's worth less next month. So they need to lend it out. And to who do they lend it out? To people that buy houses. But if the house market drops, they need to lend this out to other people too. So very rich people, what do? They go to the banks and ask, give me a loan. They need to get rid of it. And if you have a good deal for them, they will give it to you because they only lend the money here to from us. They lend the money from us, so they also get the money from us if we are having a paycheck, and they give back 0.1 something like this. They give the banks percentages and year based to us. So if they get like 1 or 2% for the money they lend back out, they made a good deal. They made profit. This is how money works. People really need to. This is how you get good deals in life. This is how people get richer. If you know how money works, you would never work for it. You could not work for it. Happy to help. Yeah, it's a visual circle. And now even the best one I've seen go out. Yeah, they would never teach you this in school. Of course not. Who would go work for money then? That's why they're so. That's why the banks actually are not so happy with cryptocurrencies because they are not going to be in control anymore. So they are losing the grip of having all the money sent to them. This is a visual circle where they work with. This is how they actually depart everything. And because cryptocurrency is not local stuck to one government and one facility, they cannot control it. So they cannot use it in their advantage like they want to. Yeah, if you want to have a very great tax reduction right now, if you buy a house with a billboard on side of it, so this is why, if you ever have driven to from Waregem to Ghent, you see on the sideways a building, a very small building on the left side with a huge billboard on top of it, and it's for buying houses. It's a very old house that stands there. And there is a huge billboard on the rooftop of it. Actually, it's bigger than the house almost. You probably have seen it already if you ever have passed through that road. Um, that house was fully 100% deductible. They didn't have to pay 1 cent on it because the billboard was that big that it was actually shown as deduction because it was located as a billboard and not as a house anymore. So they bought the property, put the billboard on the side of it, made it huge enough so everybody could see it. So they have free advertising, and they put the house under advertising, and they had a 100% deduction. So it was a free house. Knowing a little bit how money works is actually very, very profitable. But it takes time to study and follow the right people. If you ever want to follow a guy that actually learns you the right way, from this person I learned so much. I'll share a screen for a second. I learned so much. I'm not sure that is still on it when he started, but 5 years ago he started on a very low scalable level, and he actually grew his company hugely. And he learned people how to actually lend for 0%. So his main company called 0%. So he lended out money that was the first year tax free. So it didn't have to pay anything for it. It just was fully for free. I'll take a look if I can find it. If you ever see that, that's actually huge. Once you will see it, you will understand why they make it that way. Happy I didn't take that long from that 15 minutes. I always look like still chopped. So the market is now it's showing its hand. This is what we were having patience for. So here we have an inverted fair value gap. That's an IFVG, it's called. But that's actually good to know. Maybe I'll make something about this that you can have like a step following through how to get to certain stuff and everything. How you actually get cheaper loans if you have certain equity that you can use as mortgage or as borg, zoals we het in het Nederlands zeggen. It doesn't look like we will have a trade today. It looks like a very not touchable market. Yeah, if you ever want to read a good book about these kind of things, the first one I actually read about what, not about taxes really, but really about what assets are and why I got very interested about it. Yeah. Actually, that's something that's not, they're actually not allowed to do this, to deduct your taxes immediately. They actually have to show you what they take off, and they have to give you, you have to give permission actually every time that you pay that amount. But because it's a Belgium state, they all get used to it, so we just give it to them without even thinking. That's the same thing that you do. So you already pay your taxes from your job, and at the end of the year, you still have to fill in the taxes. That sounds so not correct. You cannot say to somebody that already paid his taxes off his bills immediately and then have to pay again taxes after at the end of the year. So that system is just so abnormal, incorrect that yeah, people just do it because they haven't thought. Yeah, it doesn't feel correct. It's not. It's abnormal. It's not even correct either. It's just for the working people that yeah. It's for people that don't educate themselves. That's all. But some people feel okay by giving that amount to the state. I would feel okay too if I didn't know better. So unknowing is something sometimes good because you will not question anything. But once you know, then you cannot give that amount without just because they ask it. They will have to give you a clear detail. So in Belgium, they have to actually say what the tax, where all tax money go to. They have to tell this. That's why you get now an envelope with that goes 20% to this, to medical, 10% to schools, and so on. But that's actually not enough. They actually have to send to everybody, if you ask to them, they have to send you a detailed about every penny they spent. You need to be able to see that. As a taxpayer, you have the ability to ask that. But the thing is, nobody ever asks these kind of proofs. And believe me, they cannot even show you where all the money goes to because it goes to stuff that is not allowed to. I'm sure of it. And they will never be able to show you that. So if they cannot show you where the money goes to, you can go to court. You can actually do this. I know one person that does this in real life, actually. He goes to court every year and he says, I want to pay my taxes if you can show me where all the money goes to. And I have it right here with me. So if you can show me right now, I'll pay. And he got tax-free for the last 5 years already that I know of, that he doesn't pay anything for it because they never show him. And it's legal. You didn't say you didn't want to pay. You said, I want to pay if you can show me this. You just give a question back. But you have to have balls on your body to do this because you have to go to court, you have to do everything around it and do everything. It's legal, but yeah. You will have to be able to withstand some pressure too. That's why nobody does it. Yeah. He didn't want to avoid pay it. He wanted to pay it. He just knew the rules better. That's all. It was a book like this that he had to read to actually understand everything. It's about sovereignty. It's about being free in this world. That's what the book was about. And he explained in detail how to do this. And he is actually a farmer, so he has cows and everything on his land. And yeah, he wanted to give everything what needed. If it was correct, that was all. As long as it's correct, it's okay. But he said, I didn't want to pay for stuff that wasn't honest. So say that people actually went partying with that money or did something what was not legal, and they said if that happens with that money and you cannot show me, I have no idea if it happens with that money. So that's why I didn't want to pay. But there are also different ways around it that are much easier than doing that kind of stuff. So it looks like still no trading. We got about 8 more minutes, and we probably will not have anything. Like I said, we had news at 11, and we have been chopping until 11. I hope everybody sees this market. Please don't never touch this. No, don't please never touch it. If you see this kind of movement, this is called the choppy market. A choppy market is where no fair value gaps are actually inside. There was one actually right here, but I didn't want to trade this. And actually a good one because it didn't felt right. This was not enough of a push to actually see it move in a certain direction. It just came back in and took liquidity again. So this will probably be a no trading session. If I see anything come on later, I'll share it in Discord like always. But we do want to see a clear move in a direction. So this was a good not trading day. I'll explain some other stuff in the meantime. Yeah, if you ever have the chance, read. Have you ever read it? Rich Dad Poor Dad. Really, very famous book. You will get profitable. Rich Dad Poor Dad. Yeah, so that's okay. If you have read that one, that's the start. Actually, what I started seeing that that everything was not like I was taught. So that already you know. So that's good. So you know the difference between a liability and an asset. So that's already something that you know. So you're a step ahead of most of people already. I'll share you a few other books that you can actually, if you want to read, very very interesting. Oh, nice. Good to know. Oh, you can hold silver a bit longer. It looks like it will go to. Um, I got the feeling we go to $200 for silver. Switzerland is actually in a little bit of problems right now because it doesn't have silver anymore and it needs it. And Switzerland also. So there are two lands that actually have a little bit of a problem right now because they don't have silver anymore. That's available. So the price will keep going up. Looks like between 150 and $200 will be the highest part. I believe it will go. Yeah, agree. Same for everything. The next, so I believe the next 4 years will be less good for people that have no investments. They're just having a normal activity or just one house. But people that do have investments like Bitcoin and anything, they will be the rich. They will be the new age rich people. Because, like I said yesterday, uh, Venezuela's been attacked just because of their Bitcoin holdings. See, like MicroStrategy is like one of the highest. He's above most of them. He already has almost 700,000 now Bitcoins. And normally, if you see, combined estimated points about 600,000 BTC or more placing in Venezuela amount. So globally, it's one of the biggest holders in the world. He holds more than 600,000. So that's why America actually wants to have that country under the name. And people are talking about it because of the oil or anything else. No, they don't have oil strong enough. They just put it on something different. That's what they want you to watch right now. So they want you to take a look at oil while they're actually doing it for something else. So if you go watch news, you will always see one. strict movement. But if you know that America only holds like 300,000, a bit less than 300,000 right now. So that means if they take off, get Venezuela under them, that they actually have more, almost the highest amount of Bitcoin in the world. So that's why they want it. It has nothing to do with oil, because oil is the old school stuff and works with finely. It's well okay, but it's nothing to do with oil this time. That's the news I wanted to show you, that it's that kind of movement. I actually have no idea if Greenland has the amount of two. How much? Let me see if I can find it. So Greenland has this territory, doesn't officially hold bitcoins in its government reserve, but there's discussion for future mining potential using the energy. Oh, that would be a nice one if they would put a huge mining facility on top of it. It connects. It would be a connection if they can use the energy because it's cheap energy and they can use it as a mining facility. So then, yeah, that would be logical why they want to have Greenland. So if you could combine with having the biggest mining corporation because it's cheap of energy, and you can have like the biggest holding of cryptocurrencies, you have actually combined, you have the new money system because you are the biggest holder. Like they were before the 1970s, they were the biggest holder of gold. Now they want to have the new currency, and that will be Bitcoins. There's no doubt about it. That will be the reserve currency. Let me say it like that. They will have a different one will we pay with, but that will be like shown in comparison of a Bitcoin how much it's worth. Now we watch the dollar compared to gold, how much it's worth, and it will be gold compared to Bitcoin, how much it's worth. Yeah, of course. They're gonna use CBDC. The rollout is on 2030. So in 2030, they're actually going to move everything. So we are not going to use normal cash flow anymore. It's going to be gone. I've been saying this for about 10 years now, or 6 years, that the normal cash that we know that we put in our pockets, that will be gone in the next 4 years. They will do it slowly and they will start rolling it out soon. It takes about 2.5 years to get people to do something fully. And you noticed on COVID how easy it is actually to implement something in people because everybody, but I mean almost everybody, followed the rules until exactly. And they know how it works. They know how the mind works. They know how to manipulate it and use it for their own good. But once you see it, you cannot unsee it anymore. And then you can create it your way. That's why I let you guys say sentences in the morning, because it's mentally putting it into your brain that you can do it. But you'll be fine. By that time, you're making so much money you will never even will ever need it. You got another 4 years. I said you will make in the next 4 years. If you just do 5% a week, you'll be sitting on 250 million. So you'll be okay with it. You will never need anything else. No, don't see it as scary. See it as embracement. See it as knowledge that you now know and that you can use it for a later statement. So it's knowledge that you don't find everywhere. But once you have it and you know how to use it, you can use it and at your advantage because you can be prepared for everything. Say that you don't even say that nobody ever knew this and nobody tells you this, and you have no idea that there is a shift going on, and it instantly happens. Uh, then you would have a problem. Oh yeah, yeah, that was actually yeah. I know. I was one of the only people that was actually telling the opposite story, and I got banned from a few things. I got called names, and they called me very strange stuff that time. Yeah, just you're already preparing yourself. You already bought gold. You're already buying cryptocurrency, so you're already being prepared. So that's good. This is how you prepare yourself. The only thing that you can do differently then is if you like gardening and you have a big garden, you can make sure that you have some foods that you can actually preserve and everything, so that you have a healthy way of fooding. And if you're not in that kind of style, that's good too. Then just make sure that you prepare yourself the way that you want to. Yeah, just keep it to Bitcoin. Make it yourself easy, Ville. Don't buy anything else. See it as gold. It's just a digital way. You see, I never see people actually walk around with a bag of gold and say, "Here you are. Now you can pay me your breads. I'll pay you 1 coin of gold." I don't see it happen. That would be going back to the Stone Age, from going everything electrical back to the Stone Age, where we pay with like physical products. That's not gonna happen. See, this is why I believe that crypto will be more and easier to implement, because everybody knows a bank card, everybody can use it. And it's on your phone. Everybody uses its phone, by the way, to pay. So it's just like a QR code on your phone, and you just scan the QR code, and send it, and that's it. Yeah. Okay. By this, I'll end the stream. So it's a no trading. It can happen too. Thank you for being here. Hope it was useful. And I wish you a very great trading day for the rest of the day. I'll go take a walk with my little friend here. He was already sitting here, being ready. Enjoy the rest of your day.